How's it? Today is Friday, June 14th. It is Big Friday. I'm moving forward with all of my programming. Today was hard. Um, Today was hard in a lot of situations, even not considering my lifting today. Lifting was not good, I'll be honest. And I am just a little bit numb to kind of feeling right now. I'm not going to go into much detail about that. But as far as training goes, I was supposed to go up to 103 today for the snatch and then 133 for the clean and jerk. I didn't do either of those, like not even close. That was the goal today, and then one of the rules that my coach had for me was no more than 2 misses at the same weight for my heavy lifts on Fridays. That's kind of the programming philosophy here. This isn't one of the days that I have put in the most amount of work, but it does not feel good. Like it doesn't feel good when I fail a lot, and um, it ultimately probably won't affect me in the long run, but it is an opportunity to lift heavy, and lifting heavy is pretty important, moving forward. Um, but yeah, I mean, I try my best to lift well today, and it wasn't until I failed so many times that I realized what I was doing incorrectly. And maybe you can see it. Um, I'll point it out when it happens, but maybe you can see what I was doing wrong, and maybe you're better than me. I mean, there are lots of people who are better than me, but for me, I was just trying to focus on getting proper height on extension, so I'm holding off my extension just a little bit for my extension with the snatches here. I'm also trying to keep um, my lower back in the correct position at the start, because I've been kind of starting with my hips a little bit low, and then the first thing that happens off of the ground is my hips shoot up forward, and that is one of the things that I think is a big technique fault. Like I just did it right there on this 80. I think that's one of those things that are a big technique fault that don't really get better unless you literally just stop doing it. Like I don't think that it is linked to anything else. Like if I have a start position here, oh well, so here's my first set here of my first miss at 100, and we'll put up the fail counter just to see how far we get. I know how many times I failed today. That's like the only number that I really cared about today. It was like, oh shit, I failed a lot. But this is my second attempt here. And are you seeing what's what's going on here? I wonder if you are. I don't know. But definitely not even a solid attempt on this third one. And so here I'm like, okay, I've already broken my coach's rule. So I'm going to go down and just make sure that I know what I'm doing as far as lifting goes. And I make 90 here, but it is not even close to the way that I normally lift. So I go back up to 95, and I'm like, okay, like maybe I'll make this one. And no, I didn't. So I've already had 4 fails before I even started my clean jerks. But here is the one moment that I realized how to snatch. Or remembered how to snatch. And this here is literally just trying to keep my back tight. Just squeeze my back, and like my upper back, just squeeze my upper back and make sure that that doesn't really get away from me. Because usually what happens is if I kind of just keep my position or my chest up in that position, my upper back doesn't necessarily mean that I am squeezing. And if you don't squeeze your upper back, that is one area where you're giving yourself a difficult time, or you're causing it to be, you're like giving extra space to your arms. And giving extra space to your arms will definitely result in poor extension and poor positioning overall. So that is groundbreaking information, right? It's not. It's not. But as far as clean and jerks go, this is 120 here. This is the last clean and jerk I make today. And I was supposed to go to 133 today. I think a lot of things have been kind of going wrong in my kind of approach to how I'm lifting today. I think that like this year, I got in my head like, all right, like I already failed so many times today. I failed 4 times up to that point, 5 times, and then I failed 6 times here. And in my head, I was just like, I already lost. I had already lost. I wasn't gonna do well in my clean and jerks today. Just by hoping my clean and jerks are gonna be good, right? The perspective I had at that point was already like, ah, shit, my fucking snatches were terrible. I need my clean and jerks to be better to make this okay, right? And that didn't mean that I was prepared to clean and jerk properly. That meant that I was putting extra pressure on my clean and jerks, and it's just like like I'm not in a good headspace to be doing this right now. It's also worth noting that last night's sleep was absolutely atrocious. Probably a 3 out of 10. I went to sleep at like 1 o'clock, woke up at like 5:30, and I stayed awake because I was like, okay, if I go back to sleep, there's a good chance I'm gonna end up sleeping until I have to go to work. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough time to lift. As far as front squats go, I was supposed to go up to 145. Went up to 140 as my last warm up, quote unquote, and I was like, okay, this is really hard. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 140 and I'm gonna do a triple. Spoiler alert! I mean, you already seen it. I didn't do it. So my fail counter today is ending at 7, which is not even supposed to fail at all. So that's kind of how things went today. Honest to God, I'm not worried about the rest of how training will go. I think that a lot of things led up to this poor performance, mainly my sleep and my diet and all these things. But I feel like I'm still primed to be snatching 100 normally and clean and jerking 130 like regularly. So we'll see what happens next week. I don't know if I'm gonna switch it up next week. There's a good chance I will. There's a good chance I won't. I don't know. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.